All right, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the Fresh Takes podcast. A day early than what you're used to, but here we are live from the Fair Lakes One Studios at North Park Building in Seneca Falls. I'm Paul Russo. Across from me, throw me off a little bit because he's a little bit unrecognizable today, is a special guest, but not really. Nick, how you doing today, bud?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I am dressed up as Buddy the Elf.
Yeah. Looking
and I
festive.
feel like a complete idiot.
Nah, you're good.
I got everything, too. It's like, it's got the
Get up,
pants.
yeah, get up and show the people a little bit here.
Yeah.
All right, you can get down now.
Cost $40,
Not bad.
But I think it was worth it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little bit in the festive spirit. I got an ugly sweater on.
Yep.
We are here. We're full of cheer.
I got this from Target, too.
Target. That's a solid find.
$3.
You're good.
$3 more expensive at Target, but it's better than Walmart.
Yeah.
Walmart material.
So we're obviously doing our Christmassy stuff now. Obviously, we won't be with you guys the next couple of weeks. So we'll get through some stuff today. Next podcast won't be until January 8th. We're back Tuesday nights, obviously, then, but we're taking a couple weeks off. And we'll for the rest of 2018. So hopefully this podcast is enough for everybody that's able to tune in and listen. My phone goes off for whatever reason. I don't know why. But, yeah. So,
if I could snap my fingers, I would. Stay attention. Stay attention.
Sorry. Stay attention. All right.
Pay
With that in mind, not a ton of topics this week, but plenty to talk about within those topics. Obviously, the NFL Week 15 still technically even going on. But we'll give a Bowl Mania update with that. We'll take a big look back in the year of sport that was 2018. Talk about, obviously, some moments and what to look ahead to in 2019 a little bit. And then we'll wrap it up. No pun intended by me on that part about our favorite, favorite Christmas traditions, stuff we enjoy doing, and
it's awfully weird that we're by ourselves. It's been a while.
It's been a while. A little bit needed, I feel like, in a way, but a little bit less chaotic over here for me.
It's lonely over here for me.
Yeah. By the way, have you found your dad yet?
No.
Oh, damn.
Been looking for him everywhere.
So, with that in mind, we'll jump into the NFL for Week 15. Big week as we head down the stretch here. Only, obviously, a couple games left once you get out of this week. But a lot of playoff stuff already getting solidified. The Chargers, they stunned the Chiefs on Thursday night. That was an absolutely fun game to tune in and watch. The Chargers... really ballsy move going for 2 in my opinion, but obviously paid off in the end with the win. I don't understand how you allow anyone to get that wide open on a pass in a 2-point conversion, but it happened. Then obviously you go with look at the Chiefs side of it. A lot of people did pick the Chiefs. I know I went with the Chargers.
I don't remember.
You don't remember what you went with?
I think Chiefs. You went Chargers.
Your mic is now facing the opposite way of what you usually go with there.
Yeah, no, I got a surprise.
Surprise?
Yeah, you finish
should I spin it to you? I don't know what to do. Hey, either way, obviously yesterday on Sunday, the Bears able to clinch the NFC North. Over the defeating the Packers. Obviously, they get it over the Vikings, who throttled, to say the least. They throttled the Dolphins. But, week 15 in the NFL was an interesting one. If you're the Bills, another win for you guys. Josh Allen. Fun fact on that one, Josh Allen has over 500 yards of rushing this year. A lot of people did not expect him to be that type of quarterback, be able to run and all that, and he's proven his worth. He's a big guy, built more like maybe a linebacker, traditional linebacker, and been hard to really stop them at this point. So if you're a Bulls fan, a lot to be excited about. Obviously, I don't think you're really getting into the playoffs. I don't think they're technically eliminated yet.
Bills?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
They are eliminated.
There you go.
So, obviously, you won't get the playoffs, but I think this year turned around to be a lot better of a year than probably what you were expecting off the bat. Obviously, exciting young quarterback Josh Allen proving his worth already.
Still alive going into this.
Yeah, still proving a lot already. The Browns, they're still in the hunt. Very interesting. Another fun fact that I don't know if you've heard, Nick, being an NFC, you like the Giants NFC guy. Up until, I want to make sure I get it right. So up until, obviously, the Sunday night game last night where the Eagles beat the Rams, the only NFC East player to have scored a touchdown was the Washington Redskins' third string, technically, tight end, Jeremy Sprinkle.
Last week. This week.
Last week. Technically still this week, really. Yeah, your Giants got blanked, though, by the Titans. Was not a good-looking game, really, overall from them.
Cowboys got blanked.
Cowboys got blanked by the Colts.
Didn't the Eagles score a touchdown?
Eagles won 30-23 over the Rams last night. So, Nick, I'll toss it to you for I don't know what your big surprise is. Really, I'm really confused. To say the least, I might be slightly frightened. I don't know. So, what you got?
Well, my biggest takeaway from the game was definitely Seattle and 49ers. And I think I predicted 3 weeks ago that the 49ers were going to win this game. Did you happen to see the score?
Yeah, the score that I got...
the 49ers pulled off
I got over
upset.
here, yeah. 26-23.
And I actually have footage from 3 weeks ago.
All right.
And I had moved the mic so you can hear it a little bit better.
Gotcha.
And here is the video from 3 shows ago.
The Seahawks are winning this one at home, but when they go to San Francisco in a couple weeks, watch out. Upset alert. But this week is Seattle.
Did you see that look that Paul had on his face? Please watch again.
The Seahawks are winning this one at home, but when they go to San Francisco in a couple weeks, watch out. Upset alert. But this week is Seattle.
Look at that look Paul was given. And now, this was last week's show.
Seahawks at 49ers, I'm going to go with Seattle. I said that. Oh, me? Sorry. I didn't know it was going to me next. Give me Seattle pretty handily. I told you guys a couple weeks ago, watch out for this game. I put the Seahawks on upset alert. Upset alert weeks ago. Yeah. And I'm picking the 49ers in this game. Ooh. Ow.
Confidence in that.
Not to be cocky, but I picked this upset 3 weeks ago.
That you did.
On this show.
Yeah.
And I have brought video evidence today to prove it. Even though I said alert, but it was upset alert.
Upset alert.
And what do you think about that, Paul? Were you shocked that the Seahawks lost this game?
Yeah, a little bit, given the fact that
and your brother said handily.
Yeah. So certainly I was able to watch the game. It wasn't the game that was on here. But certainly an interesting, I guess an interesting look. I think an NFL Network, I forget which one of the guys picked the 49ers on a lone wolf, and I was kind of surprised they did. But you got to give a lot of credit to Kyle Shanahan at this point, what he's doing with effectively in a rookie quarterback in Nick Mullins, and pretty much a ragtag group of guys, in a way. Yeah, they've been able to get a couple good wins so far this year. Obviously, the pinpoint of that will be Seattle. So, gotta give credit where credit's due. I was wrong. Pat was big wrong.
Big wrong.
But yeah, so
I knew this game was going to be tough for Seattle. But does Seattle still make the playoffs?
Oh man, this is tough because of the way some of these games are gonna like fall into place. It's hard to gauge. I don't know. I don't have the playoff picture up on my up on the screen right now.
Minnesota is a half game back of Seattle, and then Washington, Philadelphia, and possibly Carolina if they win tonight. Will
somehow
be a game back.
Still in the hunt. So
Washington.
Yeah, I don't. Probably, maybe, I don't know.
What do you think of Washington?
I wanted them to tank, but if you want my honest take of Washington, it was a hard fought game.
I like Josh Johnson.
I mean, you have to like his effort. He obviously wants to be there and obviously wants to succeed, and you can't blame him. I just, it's just tough given what we know about the Redskins as an organization, who they've signed this year, who they said that they discussed about and opted not to sign, and they opted to go with a guy who hasn't seen action in a longer stretch than Kaepernick. There, I said it, but it just saw it.
You wanted Kaepernick,
yeah. Well, I feel like he just puts the Reds. He will put the Redskins in a better shot.
Is Mark Sanchez still the backup?
If you're going, yeah, I mean he's the 2 guy. So obviously I need to hope that Josh Johnson stays healthy and doesn't do terrible next week, which would be nice. Him and Adrian Pearson did really well yesterday. I thought. Tough. It was a close game, definitely for sure. Makes you wonder really about Jacksonville, where they're really going to be at in the offseason, what their plans are, obviously. I think their goal should be getting a quarterback first and foremost. Obviously, you got a couple guys out there that will be available. I think the guy, in my opinion, best guy in the NFL quarterback-wise that will be a free agent will be Teddy Bridgewater. But I don't know. We'll see what happens moving forward in that regard. Some other big things, big takeaways, really, if you want to look at it. Steelers beating the Patriots yesterday, 17-10. Pittsburgh still trying to run Chris Boswell out of town. Maybe justifiably so at this point.
He'd miss any field goals.
Yeah, he did. He did miss one. If you're a Steeler fan, that obviously it's a big win anyway in general because you're able to beat the Patriots. But after 3 rough weeks and a couple really bad losses, that's the type of game that gives you a nice shot in the arm when you need it most. Obviously, I'd say they're relatively fine-ish, probably to make the playoffs. Obviously, there's still a couple scenarios where they could get knocked out, but I don't see that happening. Some other, playoff, I'll call big playoff implication game. The only other one, in my opinion, was probably the Texans and the Jets, and that's only because of the Texans being in the race. They were able to, I'll call it a squeak-out game because the Jets were in the lead there for a little bit in the fourth quarter. So
your brother almost picked that game right.
So certainly an interesting deal there. Anything you noticed from anything you were able to watch throughout the weekend?
It was more exciting last week. Last week's NFL was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
This week, I think we're going to realize which teams are going to be in it.
Yeah, definitely.
It could be set after this week.
Yeah, it's a big possibility, and so what we'll do now is obviously move into our picks.
Okay.
For the week.
Let's hear it.
So Saturday football is back. There's no Thursday night football this week, so our first games are on Saturday. The first game, 4:30 p.m. The Redskins go to Tennessee to square off against the Titans.
I got the Redskins winning this game.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Redskins, but I know what Titans team's going to show up then in that case. You know what I mean?
Yes. Wasn't high on the Redskins, but they proved me wrong and actually got a win last week.
Yeah. much to my dismay because I just want them to tank. But, yeah, I mean, not much you can really
Knowing
do.
your luck, they'll be their last week of the season and get eliminated.
Yeah, I mean, just a straight dagger. The Saturday night game, but the Ravens go west to face the Chargers.
I think the Chargers have a hangover.
Ooh, really?
Yes.
I can understand that.
I got the Ravens.
But I'm going to go with the Chargers still in this one. I'll put it to you like this. In my opinion, they need to win this game if they want the division.
Chargers, yes.
Yeah. So that's where I'm leaning towards with it.
They're still playing for something.
Yeah. Well, they'll make the playoffs either way.
Oh, they're in.
I mean, but it'd be nice to get.
It's a huge difference.
You're in position to try and get a bye.
It's a
right now
huge
still.
difference. You go from home field advantage throughout the playoffs with a bye,
Yeah.
or playing the first weekend on the road.
Yeah. The Buccaneers go to Dallas. That's the first game listed for Sunday at 1 p.m.
I got Dallas.
Yeah, I can see a way where the Buccaneers might win, but the Cowboys really do need this game now. Another situation in my mind where they need this game to get the division, which would probably be the only way they get in the playoffs. That's the way I kind of take it at this point, really, with it. The Vikings go to Detroit to face your Lions. Lions trying to play a little bit of spoiler alert at this point in the season.
And they will play spoiler if the Redskins want to get into these playoffs.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Vikings. I don't know if it will be close. It'll probably be at least a 2-possession game, but I wouldn't, the way Minnesota's been playing lately, Thielen hasn't been getting the ball, which is not necessarily knock. Diggs has been performing really well lately, but that offense, at the very least, found a stride, but it hasn't gotten back to that.
They'll find Thielen next
Yeah,
week.
but they haven't gotten back to that, first few weeks of the season type deal.
Very inconsistent.
Yeah. The Texans go to Philly to face the Eagles. Big game for both teams, really. I'm going to go with the Texans in this one.
I got the Texans as well. Texans bounce back. Philly hangover.
Yep.
Another hangover.
The Falcons, coming off a big win in Arizona, travel to face Carolina.
What's the score of that Carolina game tonight?
It is 7-6 right now.
Carolina.
Yes.
Oh, I got Carolina again next week.
Yeah, I'm going to go with
tonight.
the Panthers as well. Your Giants go to Indy to face the Colts. Back-to-back NFC East games for the Colts at home.
Giants are done. Colts.
Yeah, we'll go with the Colts as well. The Bengals go to Cleveland to face the in the hunt Browns.
And their run is going to end this week. Bengals are going to go in there and get that win.
Yeah, this is a battle of franchises that one of those, you're falling for them with both, but I think the key difference is you have a healthy Baker Mayfield versus a healthy Pat Driscoll. I'm going to go with Baker and the Browns.
Are the Bengals still alive?
I think technically, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, because they're 6-8.
Yeah. That tie is going to help the Browns out in that game.
Yeah.
So, the Packers are on the road to face the Jets. I think this might be your Y game for me. But I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with the Jets.
I'm going to agree with you.
Really?
I don't know if the Packers even want to play anymore this year.
Yeah.
They're done.
They're a bad-looking team.
Yeah, since they lost to, I picked the last minute day, they got beat by Arizona.
Yeah.
They could easily lose on the road in New York.
Yeah. Another 1 o'clock game. The Bills go to Foxborough to face the Patriots. This is another little tough game.
I got the Patriots.
I'm going with the Patriots as well. But it will be close. I'm thinking probably in that 7-point range.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember the one year the Bills went in and shut them out.
Yeah, this Patriots team, man, you can tell Gronk. I don't think Gronk's healthy. That line that line's being held together with a tether at this point. Like, it ain't very strong right now.
You said you got the Patriots still.
Yeah. But the Patriots are a team where they need that bye for the playoffs bad. Like, they need a bye.
Yeah.
And I just don't think they're going to be able to get it.
Think Texans are going to?
Yeah, I'd go Texans and whoever wins the West is my bet.
Yeah.
The last of the 1 o'clock is a battle for the Sunshine State. Jacksonville goes south on 95 to face the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going to go Dolphins as well. The first of the 4 o'clock slate, the Bears travel to San Francisco to face the 49ers. The Bears are still sort of in the hunt for a bye. I think are they in? Actually, they might be in the slot right now, aren't they?
For a bye?
Yeah.
No.
They aren't?
Saints and Rams.
Saints and Rams? Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
So...
And only a game back, though, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, they're in the hunt for a bye. I don't know what they'll fully do for that game. So I'll still go Bears.
I like the Niners, but not every week.
Yeah.
I got the Bears.
The Rams go to Arizona to face the Cardinals. Let's say it together. Rams.
Rams.
Yep.
Cardinals.
The 4:25 game is Pittsburgh going to New Orleans to face the Saints. Interesting game. Part of me wants to take Pittsburgh, but I can't. I gotta go New Orleans.
Before I pick that, I will say the Rams, though, they have been struggling.
Yeah.
They're not as gimme. They should win that game.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going New Orleans as well,
right.
at home.
The Sunday night game should be actually a really good one, I think. The Chiefs at the Seahawks. Obviously, the Chiefs want to rebound from another primetime loss.
This is Sunday night.
It's a Sunday night game.
And I'm pretty sure Pat Mahomes is 0-3 in primetime games.
And I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with Seattle in that game.
I am too.
All right. And then Monday Night Football. Oh, God. Monday Night Football on Christmas Eve. Oh, the Broncos at Oakland.
Ew.
Oh.
Ew.
I
I got John Gruden with a little bit of Christmas spirit going on there.
I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go with the Raiders.
And I did not give you a why. That is your holiday gift for me.
Awesome, Nick.
Why?
Looking to week 17, we're not going to pick any of the games. I'd say some key games of note, though, I think that we should point out to the listeners are probably going to be for sure the Bears-Vikings game. That game's in Minnesota. I think the Colts and Titans game is going to be one you want to keep an eye on as well. That might have wild card implications still on it.
That was our last bit of picking for the regular season for the year.
Yeah. I'd say another game, Eagles at Redskins, only because you don't know what those two teams are still obviously in the hunt. You don't know what they're going to end up at. Other than that, I'd say obviously because it's always a really great entertainment value game, the Bengals at the Steelers. That game always ends up physical, near a brawl, backyard type of game almost, if you want to call it that. So with that in mind, we'll move away from the pros and go to college for the first of the bowl games that you and Pat couldn't care about, but I do.
Who won?
So I'm gonna kind of.
Herm Edwards lost.
Herm Edwards did lose. Fresno State was able to win. For those of note, anyway, Fresno State, I believe they ended up at 12-2 on the year now with that win. Very good team out in the Mountain West. Probably keep an eye on for next year. Wouldn't say playoff, but they're certainly a team that could mess up somebody's hopes. Going next year, Herm Edwards obviously has got Arizona State going in the right direction. If any of you listening are somehow a Sun Devil fan, look forward to that because obviously he did well in this first year. Able to beat Kevin Sumlin out in Arizona to get to a bowl game, so there's that. Other than that, I'd say another big winner from this would be what I'd call the FCS call-ups. Appalachian State beat Middle Tennessee State in the New Orleans Bowl and in the Camellia Bowl. Georgia Southern beat Eastern Michigan. Those are two teams that, obviously, if you're a sports fan, college football fan, but probably general sports fan, you recognize Appalachian State from obviously upsetting Michigan, 11 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
But they've only been in the Division 1A now for, I think, 4 years now, 3 or 4 years. Same with Georgia Southern, both sneaky good teams for where they're at conference-wise. In the CUSA and in the Sun Belt. They're like I said, probably obviously not a playoff team, but if you were to face them early in the year next year as your cupcake game, certainly something you want to be aware of. Other than that, I'd say the big loser, North Texas. They were a team, CUSA team that they look really good all year. The quarterback goes down in the game and they get throttled by Utah State, which is unfortunate to see. That was in the New Mexico Bowl. Typically, what a lot of people call the almost the first of the bowls, really outside. If you don't want to count the Celebration Bowl, which features 2 FCS teams. Obviously, since we won't be here the next couple weeks, we're not going to go through every bowl game. There's way too many. But we're going to do some of note and give you our predictions in that regard. Also, maybe what to kind of, see any key guys to look for in those games or any key guys that may not be in those games because of draft implications. And then also we'll do some college football playoff picks as well and predictions in that. So with that in mind, we'll jump right in. The first bowl for me that I want to discuss with you, Nick, to a degree, only because of the implications in the NFL draft-wise with this, is Houston versus Army, two teams that were a bit of a feel-good throughout the year. Obviously, if you're Houston, if you heard about Houston football this year, it was probably because of Ed Oliver, extremely talented member of the team's defensive line. They use him primarily as a defensive tackle, played some D-end. This is a guy, top 10 NFL draft-worthy talent from an attribute side. Does have some stuff from the mental point of view that could use some boost. Got into it with his coach a little bit. Obviously, Army, that side, not so much anything NFL prospect-wise, but what a really great feel-good team, really. First, they got ranked for the first time since '96. Played extremely well throughout the year, obviously.
3 in a row.
Yeah.
Versus Navy.
Yep. And so obviously it's something really great to talk about. That's the Armed Forces Bowl in Fort Worth, Texas. That is December 22nd. Should be an interesting game. I'm going to pick Army in this one in upset. I think obviously having Ed Oliver be out, and I think there's a couple other guys out via injury for Houston. A couple wideouts I think are out, so that's something key to look
for the draft.
To. No, injury-wise, actually, I think in that regard. So,
who do you like in this matchup?
I like Army, honestly. A little bit of an upset. Well, maybe not technically an upset. I think they're ranked higher than Houston, but I think a lot of people will lean Houston because they've kind of seen a broader schedule of talent a little bit. Houston's played UCF. They've played. I forgot who they played. They played one of the Texas teams in the Big 12 earlier this year, but Army plays a tough brand of football. They do. I'm gonna go with Army in the upset on that one.
I like Houston.
Yeah. Only because of the local ties. The next ball I want to talk about is also a December 22nd game. Troy versus Buffalo. UB played, honestly, probably their best season since they had Khalil Mack in the program. This time, though, it wasn't so much about their defense in the news. It was their offense in the news. They had a very high-powered offense. They were that MAC team this year. The MAC always usually has about two or three teams in the bowl games, but usually the one team is typically a cyclical type deal. That was probably Buffalo this year. They play a really good Troy team that people picked in the preseason would finish top 25 out of the Sun Belt. That didn't happen. They were ranked for a while. It didn't happen. That's the Dollar General Bowl being played in Mobile, Alabama. Also December 22nd. I'm going to go with Buffalo in this game.
I like Buffalo.
I'm going to go with the local ties. Excuse me. Next bowl I want to get to is a bowl that us Syracuse fans are all too familiar with.
The Pinstripe Bowl.
The Pinstripe Bowl. That game is Wisconsin versus Miami, December 27th. Obviously at Yankee Stadium. Interesting game. Two teams in Wisconsin, Miami that disappointed. I wouldn't say any jobs are really on the line, but it's certainly a look in the mirror type game for both head coaches. I wish I asked Pat. Pat obviously is a Miami Hurricane fan. I can't remember if Matt Diaz, who is their defensive coordinator, is coaching that game. He accepted the job at Temple for their head coach. I still like Miami in that game. I think they'll get it right.
I'm going to pick Miami too.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're going with N'Kosi Perry at quarterback. He's really the quarterback of the future for them, at least the next couple of years. So it'd be nice to see what he could do if you're an ACC fan, obviously. Next game, we gotta do it. The Camping World Bowl. Syracuse versus West Virginia. West Virginia team that I picked in the beginning of the year to make the college football playoff is kind of like that one team that would sneak in. Kind of really happened to actually be Oklahoma a little bit this year, another Big 12 team. Obviously, though, Syracuse, the big surprise in this, obviously 9-3. Dino gets his long-term extension last week. West Virginia's minus Will Greer. They're minus also an offensive lineman. They're both sitting out for the NFL draft. That being said, I think that sways to Syracuse in the favor of this game. I believe West Virginia is still technically the favorite if you're looking at the books. But I'm going to go with Cuse for those reasons.
I like Cuse as well.
I still think it's going to be an offensive shootout, though. I don't think either of those defenses are going to be able to keep up with each other's offense. So that game, December 28th, in Orlando, Florida.
You going?
I wish. I really do wish.
Take the train down.
No, I did that once in college, Orlando to Erie to get back to college, and that was a nightmare.
That was your first train too.
That was my first long distance train. Yeah, oh. I had done like the local stuff here, like on the tracks through town and whatever. But yeah, that was my first long distance train, and man, I'll say this, not to get too off track. But
fun.
Train, if you do it for any like less than a day and you're going a good distance, like trains are awesome because you get to see so much you really wouldn't see, and you're able to like actually move around a little bit. But I digress. With that in mind, we'll jump into let me double check because I don't think there was any other bowl games I did want to talk about. Oh, yes. How could I forget? The Fiesta Bowl, LSU versus UCF. This is the put up or shut up game for UCF.
This is the BCS Bowl.
This is, the old BCS, obviously. This is a New Year's Six game. They're back there again this year. They're facing an LSU team.
You back on the UCF bandwagon?
Yeah, I think they'll beat LSU. This LSU team kind of stumbled a little bit down the stretch. With that in mind, it's a tough game to pick. Obviously, UCF is minus Mackenzie Milton with that terrible leg injury, but LSU stumbled way too much down the stretch for me to take them. So I'm gonna go with UCF.
They don't lose.
It's their put up or shut up game, though. It really is.
They don't lose.
No. That being said, I'll save the rest of that for when we recap 2018 and look forward to 2019, though. The other game, I don't really want to talk about too much. Washington versus Ohio State, obviously in the Rose Bowl. We can just do a straight prediction on that. I'll go upset. I'm gonna go Washington on that one
versus
Ohio State. Yeah,
I got Ohio State.
All right. And then Sugar Bowl, Texas is playing Georgia. I'm going to go with Georgia.
Georgia.
Okay. So we'll get to the games now that we really care about discussing. Excuse me again. December 29th. They're doing these on a Saturday this year.
Yeah, it's different.
Even though they're still technically New Year's 6 classified. So the first national championship semifinal game is the Cotton Bowl, Clemson versus Notre Dame.
My Notre Dame.
Your Notre Dame.
Undefeated Notre Dame versus undefeated Clemson.
No.
And you know, an undefeated team has never won the 14 playoff.
Really? No, yeah, that is true.
Oklahoma's the last chance to keep that alive.
So we were kind of discussing this in probably not the best manner on Saturday, I think. At least to a degree. But I didn't really give a full-fledged about this. I think Notre Dame could realistically upset Clemson. I really think it could happen. Ian Book, I'm very high on him right now still.
Clemson's fast.
But Clemson is fast.
USC beat Notre Dame for a little bit there.
Notre Dame keeps everybody close, though. That being said, I'm going to go Clemson in a very tight game. 2017.
Clemson.
Yes.
I can't make a prediction here because I'm on the call.
Oh. Well, what's your one key to the game then, Herbie?
My one key to the game is Notre Dame's going to win.
All right.
And they might shock the world and blow them out. But they don't blow out teams, so it's not going to happen. So,
right.
2017 Notre Dame.
All right. The Orange Bowl is the other semifinal game, Alabama versus Oklahoma. I think if Tua is hurt, this game is going to be closer than people think. That being said, I think Alabama's still way too much for Oklahoma. I'm thinking Alabama like 31 to like 19.
And I just want to change my prediction. That Notre Dame Clemson game actually is going to be a high-scoring game.
All right.
I think 38-34.
All right.
Notre Dame.
All right.
Okay, now back to this game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blowout. I'm going to go like 42-10.
Who?
Alabama, come on.
All right. I just want to be sure.
I think it's going to be a blowout.
So that sets up two different national championship games then that we have predicted here. National championship game, January 7th, Monday, 8 p.m. at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara.
No third place.
No third place game. Alabama versus Clemson for me. It's Alabama versus Notre Dame for you. I'm going to go with Clemson in mine. Another tight game. I'm going to go 28-27. Clemson.
I don't know about that. Realistically, Alabama's going to win my game.
Oh, there's no crazy punt return and
Alabama's going to realistically win my game 37-24. But bias answered 48-47 in double overtime.
Punt return.
Notre Dame wins.
All right. So that's our college football stuff then for now. Obviously, when we get back on the 8th, we'll discuss obviously what happened. Good luck to you, Nick. You're really the only dog in the race. Person that has a dog in the race in this one.
Yeah, thanks.
Other than that, so
I wish it was on New Year's Eve though.
Yeah. Well, what can you do?
Nothing now.
So, with that in mind, we'll look back on 2018. Certainly a really cool year in sports. Things that, maybe not necessarily haven't seen in a while, but awesome feats. Obviously, a Triple Crown winner in horse racing. The return, really, of Tiger Woods, if you want to call it really a full-fledged return, but he's looking the best he's been in over a decade, really. This one pains me to say, the Boston Red Sox, but they throttled Major League Baseball, right? Golden State Warriors have a chokehold still in the NBA. When will Tom Brady die? You just don't know.
You stole some of my favorite moments.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
But another one to add: the first 16 seed ever win a game.
I forgot that. That is true. I kind of predicted it, but not really.
Yeah, kind of.
Wrong matchup.
Oh yeah, that's right. You said Yale, right? Or Penn.
Yeah, I picked Penn over Kansas because I didn't think they can't. I mean, it really showed true, but that Kansas team really wasn't as good as people thought they were.
Yeah, Me and Pat were actually looking up Kansas today. Very overrated.
Yeah,
they've been to the tournament 20 sometimes, a bunch of Sweet 16s and Elite Eights and Final Fours, and only won one championship. Pretty disappointing.
Yeah,
kind of like the Atlanta Braves back in the day.
Oh,
but yeah. Triple Crown was huge, justified. 2 golf notes. Tiger, obviously.
Well, I forgot about your guy.
Brooks
I know where you're going with that, yeah.
Brooks Koepka. Two major championships. Haven't seen that in a while.
Back-to-back U.S. Open champion.
Yep. Really just Villanova dominated. Alabama. Crazy championship game.
Yeah, that was a crazy championship. You actually had, not to interrupt, you had a lot of crazy plays overall, especially at the start of the year from the football side. You had what do they call it? The Minnesota Miracle with Stephon Diggs.
Nice to see the Washington Capitals finally break through.
Yeah, and to double back on that with it too, you have the Vegas Golden Knights in their first year make it to the Stanley Cup final. First team, I believe, actually, fun fact. I have a lot of fun facts today. First one, I believe, since the Capitals themselves make a championship game in their expansion year.
No.
Yeah.
LeBron lost again in the finals. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
the JR game.
Yeah. From my side, maybe your not side, and really in particular, Jimmy Johnson goes winless in NASCAR.
Yeah.
Certainly stunning, I think, overall, to really say.
Joey Logano getting the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good year.
It was a fun year. I kind of stuck it on here, but there were a lot of, I feel laughable moments a little bit in sports this year, given the way it was.
JR.
Do you have any, I'm about to say, I feel like JR's at the top of this list. It was certainly an interesting debacle. Kids at home. Look, me and Nick, admittedly, probably not the best to tell you this from a basketball standpoint, but should you ever be in a situation like that, know the time on the clock. Don't just dribble it out while you're tied for I don't know, what he was doing. Scorching hot take as well as a reasonable prediction. Do you have anything like that?
Golden State will win the championship?
Well, sure.
UConn women's will win the championship.
Whoa.
They haven't won in 3 years. Haven't been to the finals in 3 years.
That's true.
They're bringing it back. What's your take?
So, I'm kind of wearing my scorching hot one, but baseball, I don't think it will happen. I don't know if it'll happen via expansion exactly, but baseball will return to Montreal.
Will basketball return to Seattle?
Yeah, well, yeah. I'll go ahead and say yes.
Hockey is.
Hockey is, obviously. I'll go ahead and say yes on that, only because of the way this whole entire deal with the Suns is shaking out. It doesn't look good that it doesn't look good to be staying in Arizona at this point. So I think we'll see a team in Seattle. I don't know if it'll. You want to know what? I'll go ahead and put that in my 2019 predictions. I will.
Huge. Deals. I mean, that's cool. You like baseball back in Montreal?
Yeah.
You want to see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but big, bold prediction right here. Not bold.
Mine's bold prediction. That was mine.
The Seattle. The Montreal.
Montreal part,
Yeah. Mine is the New York Knicks will win the NBA lottery. And Zion Williamson is coming home.
Tank for Zion.
And Knicks with a big loss tonight versus the Suns, who won 3 in a row. Just a game and a half out from being the worst team in the NBA. That's how I like it.
I also have another smaller prediction. I feel like it's one everyone's expecting to come, but it won't. The actual change won't happen next year. Technically, it will be the year after, but you will see an 8-team college football playoff.
Really?
They got to do it. I think this year really proved it, especially if UCF does beat UCLA. I feel like at that point you got to do it. Also based on the fact that Georgia should really be in over Oklahoma. It's just that they didn't win the conference, so obviously you can't put them in.
Beats LSU.
Yes. 100%.
Not UCLA, but no, just trying to help out the viewers here.
Yeah, so obviously, 2018, fun year. Wish you got a little more time out of it because you had some interesting and fun stuff happen.
But 5 shows from now will be the 1-year anniversary show
Didn't realize
of
that.
us.
Just in general, yeah.
Yeah, taking over on the YouTube. Fresh Takes was made February 5th, 2018.
That's right after the Super Bowl.
Yep, and it will be on a Tuesday, the anniversary.
Yeah,
So,
wow, yeah.
5, because we did it on Monday, so it'll be a Tuesday. And so 5 shows from now,
Let's get some party poppers.
I'll bring a cake.
All right. So with that in mind, we'll get jolly up in here. Or Christmas traditions, some favorite things to do around holidays. Obviously, we all have them. Feel like at this point for us, one of the things is obviously ugly sweaters at some point. But that's, I feel like everyone. So
You got family parties?
yeah, we always end up. This year won't be at my aunt's, but we always end up over there. It'll be at my grandpa's house this year.
Christmas Eve?
Christmas Eve. And that's just I like the Christmas Eve thing we do. Just a nice little thing. We don't do like a full fledged like meal type deal. We'll have like appetizer type deal. Like I like I don't know if we're doing it this year. I mean that remains to be seen. But I always we usually get like pulled pork like sliders or something like that.
I always
Type deal. So
I always have 2 parties, mom and dad's side. Mom's side's always around Christmas. This year it's this Saturday. And dad's side's always Christmas Day.
yeah.
And can we please bring back the tradition of watching a movie with
Well, I was going to ask that because
every Christmas
we
night?
do go see a movie. Well, we did. It's been a couple Christmases since
Daddy's
we did.
Home too? I remember we saw Daddy's Home.
Daddy's Home, the original Daddy's
Yeah, 'cause
Home.
I haven't seen the second one.
Um,
We saw that Christmas Day.
but that was probably the last one we've seen, so it's been about 2 years then.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did. That was one of ours that we did as a friend group type deal. Christmas Day, it's either we usually do something alone, just kind of like by ourselves, me, my mom, dad, and Pat. We usually do something with my dad's side of the family, which we are again this year.
Christmas
so,
Day.
Yeah. That usually Christmas Day. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, obviously you do your mom's side. You're doing it Saturday, but usually, I feel like whatever Christmas Eve celebration is, it's almost like everyone kind of does the same thing. Same thing with Christmas Day, where Christmas Eve is kind of like you're not doing a full fledged meal type deal. It's a lot of
Yep.
picking stuff.
Christmas is always for the family, and then New Year's is always with the friends,
Yeah,
for the most part.
yeah. And do you have any cool gift exchange type deals that you guys do?
Secret Santa
Yeah.
for my mom's side.
Anything on your dad's side, or is it just
No.
kind of?
The too many little kids, they get all the gifts now. I get nothing. But you grow up, you gotta learn. I ain't sad.
You all right?
I'm good.
Let it out, man.
This hat's so stupid. I need to take it off.
Yeah, we do. It's pretty cool. We do. I don't know the actual name of it, but it's kind of like a dice game. So I think the maximum you can spend is $10. But so then you just wrap it in non-discrete wrapping paper, so aka newspaper, and there is a good number of us at this point. I think there's 10 or no more than that actually, almost 14 of us that do it now, and it's really fun. I ended up with a really awesome little flashlight that's really bright. I have it in my car in case I need it for anything.
So you do white elephant.
It's not white elephant, I guess, the way white elephants was, like, invented. But, yeah, I mean, it is a white elephant just with, like, dice. So, it's pretty awesome. It's fun. We all have our Christmas traditions. And it's what makes it unique, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Especially you, buddy.
Yes, thanks.
Do you eat spaghetti on Christmas?
I want to do that.
Oh,
I want to
do it.
I might go Instagram Live and do it.
Please don't. I don't want to be around when you do that.
Yeah, if you ever see Nick Felice 21 going live on Instagram, give it a click.
God, that's so wrong. So before we step aside for now, couple announcements we got to make. First off, please, I'm literally begging you, let it be your holiday gift to us. Call in 866-315-3591.
It's easy.
Give us your take. The extension for us is 804. We want to hear from you guys. Takes, questions, like what stuff to like look for in sports. Like, we want to hear from you guys. You know, we'll be away for really not like a super long period, but in the sports world, a lot of stuff is going to be happening. Like I said, our next podcast won't be until January 8th. That's after obviously the national championship game for football. We will be away for that long. Call in, give us some stuff. You know, we play it on air. You know, we'll give it to you. Let your voices be heard. You know, it's an awesome service that we got here, and we want people to really utilize it.
Absolutely.
So with that in mind, like I said, the big thing is we will not be here the next couple weeks because of the holidays. That being said, plenty of other awesome programming here at Finger Lakes One you can obviously tune into to get your fix. Got some high school basketball games coming up to tune into on this Finger Lakes One sports side. That'll be really awesome if you want to watch something that's a little bit different than your typical, say, basketball stuff. High school stuff's really awesome in the area. It's a really awesome time for that. So make sure you tune in. Like I said, though, January 8th is the next podcast. So if anybody wondering, that's when we'll be back. We'll be back regular Tuesday nights at this point for the most part, obviously. Stuff like, say, for instance, tonight we had to do a little bit of shift because of some personal stuff going on with us tomorrow. Like I said, January 8th, next podcast. Nick, that time for you. Who is your shout out this week?
Shout out this week to my grandpa.
Hey.
The real Nick Felice.
Grandpa Felice.
Merry Christmas, Saint Nicky Felice.
Yeah, that being said, before we step away, we do all wish you guys Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays if you should spend it another way. We hope you guys have obviously a safe and enjoyable one, family and friends. Have a Happy New Year. Mm-hmm. We'll be away for that as well.
Enjoy the wild card playoffs.
Yes, enjoy. No, we'll be back before then, I think. Right?
I don't think so.
No, that's right. We won't be.
Enjoy the national championship.
Man, we are. I told you. Like I said, if you're all calling, this is probably the
enjoy
really big time
the
to do
tournament of champions for golf.
Yes. Anything else?
My grandpa did just turn 89. So happy birthday, Grandpa!
Yeah, that's right. Happy birthday!
Double shout out.
All right. Happy birthday, my grandpa too. He turned 88 last week.
Ooh.
So yeah. So with that in mind, we'll get away for now. Like I said, have a safe, enjoyable Christmas.
We'll see you next year.
Like, share, subscribe, download the app. We'll catch you next time here on FairLakes1.com.